This is my consumer surplus is this upper triangle, producer surplus is this rectangle, this second rectangle, and this triangle. And the deadweight loss, right, so producer surplus is this entire region here. And the deadweight loss is going to be this triangle right here. So for consumer surplus, which equals 1/2 base times height, that means that we're going to be missing one number. And the number we're going to be missing is, what is this new quantity? Well, the way that we can find that is by substituting in the price of 13 into the demand curve. The quantity that we find will be what appears right here. In this case, we would have 100 minus 2p equaling quantity, 100 minus 2 times 13 equaling quantity, quantity equaling 74. Substituted 13 as a price into the demand curve, found 74. Because now I have 13 to, right, the price way up there, which was 50, what we had found before. 13 to 50, that difference, right, is going to be the base of my triangle, or the height, whatever your perspective is, and 74 is going to be the other number. So I'm going to have 1/2 times 74 times 50 minus 13. Which would mean that I would have a surplus of 1369. It should be a smaller number than what we had found before. It is. Again, 1/2 base, which is, I made 74, so the height from 0 to the price, or to the quantity of 74, which I had found up here. 1/2 times 74 times 50 minus 13, 50 minus 13. And then for the producer surplus, it's going to be still 1/2 base times height. And in this case is going to be, right, now what I need to do is this is going to go from 13 all the way down to, well, in my case it's going down to negative 4.2. Right, so that's going to be this part. But now I'm going to need to split the shape up into several different smaller shapes in order to calculate what's going on here. Let's see here. Probably what's easiest is what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute in my quantity of 74 into my supply curve as the quantity to find what this price is, because I'm going to split this into one big rectangle and then a triangle. Okay, so I'm going to substitute in 74 into the quantity. Let's see, my original supply curve is my... Okay, so... Okay, so I found a price of 10.6. I substituted in 74 into my supply curve, so I could find this point right here, which is 10.6. Okay, now with that, now I've got a rectangle and a triangle. So in this case, I now have the difference from let's see, 13 to 10.6 times 74. This is going to be the first part of my producer surplus. This is going to be the big rectangle. 13 minus 10.6 times 74. Right, that's going to be base times height, or length times width, however you, actually it's not times 1/2. Sorry. Right, it's just going to be my base times my height, or my length times my width, which turns out to be 177.6 dollars. So this is the area of this rectangle right here. Now I need to find this triangle, which would, so we're going to add this to 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 times that's going to be 10.6 minus negative 4.2 times 74 times 0.5, 547.6. Okay, I found the area of the triangle to be 547.6. That was 1/2 base times height. The height being the easy part, still just 74. The base being the difference between 10.6 and negative 4.2, or 0 if you'd use 0 as your price. So now I'm going to add these two together, and that's going to be my total producer surplus. Right, that would be 725.2. So now I've got a consumer surplus, I've got a producer surplus. Now I want to find the deadweight loss. To find that, I'm going to try to fit it in here. It'll also still be 1/2 base times height will equal the deadweight loss. In this case, it'll be 1/2 times 13 minus 10.6 times 1/2. 13 minus 10.6, that would be the base of this triangle. And then the height of this triangle is going to be the difference between 74 and 77.43, which is going to equal sorry that you have to wait while I calculate this. $4.116. That would be in dollars, and that would be the loss in efficiency caused by imposing a price floor of $13. Okay, that essentially covers then what you need to be able to do. To review, you need to be able to talk about consumer surplus and producer surplus and calculate them in a straight equilibrium situation. And then second, what I'll do is I would either impose a price floor or a price ceiling. And to make your life easy, let's say that I will commit myself to making it always a price floor. In that case, like our $13 price floor here, you would then calculate the consumer surplus, the producer surplus, which you're going to have to split up into a rectangle and a triangle, and then add them together, and then solving for the area of the deadweight loss, which is this triangle right here. Okay, that covers the appendix to chapter 4, and probably the most quantitative stuff that we'll be doing in this first section of the course.